Okay. So up to the last class, do you have any doubt, anyone? Any confusion after the last class? So in the last class, what we did, do you recall? Anyone? No one. So basically,
The difference
if
of
you can
freedom
recall,
is
okay. So basically, we have done regarding finding of degree of freedom of your any kind of consider given mechanism. Okay, so that was the basic thing that we have done today. So now if you have any question, any confusion regarding how to find out degree of freedom, what are the things that is required, you can ask. So or otherwise we'll see some more solve problems, 2 3 more solve problems regarding the finding out degree of freedom. So yes, forum is up to you. If you have any confusion, any doubt, you can ask. So what was the basic equation that we are using for finding out degree of freedom? So can anyone tell me if we think of a rigid link that is in space, okay, and all the movements are permitted. That means there is no restraint, okay. We are not restraining any movement, any kind of movement. Then what will be the degree of freedom? Can anyone tell me? I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
yes, sir.
Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basic thing, the degree of freedom of any link, rigid link in space, which is not constant. Not constant means all the movements are permitted. None of the movement is restrained or constrained. They are having the same meaning. Okay, then it is six. And now if we think of planar mechanism, okay, so that is on in space. Okay, now in plane, if we consider, then the maximum possible movement becomes three. So now we know that basically in case of a mechanism, okay, so different links are connected, okay, joined together, which also imposes some of the restriction. Apart from that, from a kinematic chain, how we can get a mechanism from a kinematic chain? How to get a mechanism from a kinematic chain? So it is by fixing one of the link from that kinematic chain we get a mechanism. Okay, that is one of the definition of mechanism. If you can recall, that means by fixing one of the link of a kinematic chain we get a mechanism. Okay, so after that, for finding out the degree of freedom, okay, so basically we'll be discussing about the planar mechanism. So we are going to use this particular equation, degree of freedom equal to 3 whole into n minus 1 minus 2p1 minus p2, okay, and minus if there is any redundancy that is there, okay, redundant degree of freedom, that also has to be eliminated. Okay, so here n is the number of links. That means from the given mechanism, we should be able to find out the different links. Okay, we should be able to identify the different links and number them properly, so that what is the number of total links that we'll be able to find out. Apart from that, the P1 and P2, that so in normal case we can consider like P1 is the number of lower pairs, and this is lower pair P1, okay, and this is about higher pair. So lower pair means what kind of contact? Surface or area contact or line or point contact? Lower pair. This is surface or area contact in case of lower pair. Okay, in case of higher pair, it is, we can consider line or point contact. Okay, line or point. Okay, So those things already discussed. I believe this one already we have completed, right? Up to this one, Kempler mechanism. So, and I told you to go through, I have already shared this particular solve problem, so numerical in your Google Classroom. So, have you gone through it? Anyone? See, finding out degree of freedom of a given mechanism, these are important, okay? You should be able to do it. And for that, basically, n is required, that is the number of links. Now, if we consider this particular situation, okay, here we have got what? So, this is the mechanism that is given. So, these positions are, what does it represent? Can anyone tell me this X position?
Fixed, sir.
Yes, these are fixed links. So we have to will be given the same number. Generally, we start with the fixed link. So this is also number one. This is also number one. And now sequentially, we should be able to find out all the different kinds of, we can say, links over there. So now this is another link that we have. That is we are numbering with number two. This is another link. Okay, this link is another link. Link three. This slider itself is a link. Okay, slider itself is a link. This is the slider. Okay, this is the slider. This is the link. And once again, the slider which is placed on the guide, okay, that itself is a kind of fixed thing, okay. This is once again number one, okay. Now this connection is this link is link number five, and this whole thing, this triangular kind of thing, okay. This is three different links or it's a single link. This whole thing, okay, this X portion, this itself is a single link. It is not three different links. So the whole thing is a link. Okay. So we have to give only one link number. So number six. Let's consider this is another link. Okay. Number seven. And what is remaining? This is number eight link that is remaining. And once again, this is the fixed portion. Once again, number one. So how many links are here? N equal to how many?
8,
Eight.
sir.
Okay. Now our, yes, correct. So now our task is to basically find out, we should be able to find out P1 and we should be able to find out P2. Okay. So where P1 is the number of lower pair, this is higher pair. Okay. So now, do you think there is any kind of higher pair, that means line or point contact, that kind of pair? P2. What about P2? There is basically all are actually surface. Right? This is hinge. Okay, this is the slider. Once again, these are area or surface contact only. So all are kind of, this is a lower pair mechanism. So there is no higher pair. So P2 is automatically zero. Okay, so we should be able to now find out P1. So for finding out P1, basically we will go to the method of joints. Okay, so we'll see how many, what kind of joints are there. Okay. Okay, after this much, all of you are with me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now
Yes,
we
sir.
know that binary join means what? Binary join means basically at that particular connection, two actually links are joined together. So okay. So now if we consider this is a binary hinge join. We are talking about right now hinge join. Okay. So that way, if we think, okay, this is a binary hinge join. Similarly, this is another binary hinge join. This about this point actually, if we don't consider the slider right now, only we are thinking of the hinge joint. If that way if we are thinking, then this is the primary hinge joint, or ultimately this is a basically quaternary joint only. If we don't see whether this hinge, slide, or what kind of thing is there, contact is there, so basically it's a quaternary joint. Okay, so or otherwise hinge wise, if we think this is ternary hinge. Okay, three links are hinged together. Okay, and last one is actually basically that is the frame or the fixed one. Okay, so that way this is one, three, four, and five. Four links are joined together, so that way it is quaternary joint. Okay, this is the quaternary joint. Or if we think of in terms of what kind of joint is there, then it is ternary hinge joint. Okay, in the form of hinge. Okay, okay. So now we have got one, two, three, four, five, six, and seven numbers of binary hinges. Okay, so this seven line will automatically give rise to what? Seven binary means, okay, seven pair it will give rise to. Okay, and this is quaternary joint, right? Or otherwise, in terms of hinge, if you think this is ternary hinge joint. Well, ultimately, this is a quaternary joint, right? Four links were there, so quaternary joint. So it is equivalent to how many pairs? 4 minus 1, that is 3 numbers of pairs. Okay, so 7 pairs for the 7 binary joint. Okay, plus for one quaternary joint. Okay, we have got 3 pairs, 7 plus 3. Okay, so that's give rise to how much? 10 plus 3, 10 number of P1 equal to 10. 10 means how? 7 plus 3. From 7 hinge joint, we are getting 7 pairs. Okay. From one quaternary joint, we are getting 3 equivalent binary pairs. Okay. So this is the P1 equal to 10. And P2 equal to how much? 0. And there is no redundant degree of freedom. So F are equal to 0. Now our task is to just use this value of n, P1 and P2 in the given equation that we already know for degree of freedom. So that is we are just using the Grobler's criteria. Okay, DOF, that is degree of freedom equal to 3 whole into n minus 1 minus 2p1 minus p2 minus f. So here n equal to 8. Okay, p1 we have just found to be 10. Okay, there is no higher pair, that is p2 equal to 0. There is no redundancy, that is redundant degree of freedom equal to 0. So this gives rise to the value is 1. Okay, understood? Let me know. So this completes this problem. Any confusion? If no, we'll move ahead.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now you should be careful. That means even though you are saying that this Grabler using the Grabler's criteria, or ultimately sometimes also known as the Katzbach equation, we are going to find the degree of freedom. So now the, sometimes there may be some it's basically is a it's also important that you should have experience with dealing with this particular equation and all. Okay, and sometimes from your extensive experience and from your solving problems, etc. By looking at those particular configuration of the mechanism also, you get the idea that is whether this suppose particular link is going to uh, have movement or not have movement, or whether it is going to give certain input to it or not, okay, to the motion of that particular mechanism, whether it is affecting or not. Sometimes by looking at this and using your imagination also you can. So now it's important that you must know that there may be sometimes a situation where thus Grabler's criteria, or you can say the Katzbach equation, might not fulfill. Okay, so just like in the case of the redundancy, okay, if there is kind of redundant degree of freedom is there, then if you don't use that particular redundancy, okay, if you don't eliminate that redundancy, then you may not get a particular value of the this particular whatever is the mechanism. Okay. So now we are going to consider one such situation, okay, where we have got some redundant. Okay, so let's consider this particular situation. Okay, by normal look, it's sometimes you may get confused, like it's a kind of four-bar mechanism because we have drawn your four-bar mechanism something like this. But just to remind you, okay, we have got all hinge joints there. Okay, I can either draw like by showing this as the fixed portion, okay, or I can also draw the whole rectangle. Okay, so this way also I can show that's up to us. Okay, so now in this particular case, if you look at this particular portion here, these are not hinge joints. Okay, but it's something. Suppose if we now keep on numbering those, okay, numbering first, we should be able to find out the number of links. So now this is not a problem. This is a fixed point. This is also a fixed joint. So fixed link number 1. Okay, so this link is number 2, and this link, the fixed link, is number 3. Now you can see due to this particular structure, basically there is another link, this particular bar. Okay, this particular bar, and this is we can consider like fourth link. Okay, but if you look at this particular portion, okay, how this bar is held there, okay, this is basically not a kind of any kind of, we can say, joint. Okay, so but due to this kind of motion, okay, you can consider like as if it is some guide has been provided. So because of this particular can say situation, okay, so in this mechanism, if you consider in this as a mechanism, so here this particular bar, due to its own weight and to this particular whatever structure, okay, it is able to slide. Okay, that means it can go in this particular direction, it can slide. Okay, it can slide without causing any movement to the rest of the mechanism. You can just think of like as if it is going to slide like this and it will just fall here. Okay, so that may happen. Okay, and it can just slide and it may not cause any kind of movement to that particular rest of the mechanism. So in this case, that means here one redundancy is there. Okay, so one redundant degree of freedom, okay, fr is there equal to 1. So how many links are here? N is 4, no probably 1, 2, 3, probably we have counted. So P, that is first P1 if you consider, okay, then we can just normally we can say 1 and 2 making one pair, okay, 2 and 1 and 3 if you consider this is also making another pair, okay, 2 and 4 if you consider this is making another pair, okay, and 3 and 4 this is also another pair. So 4 pairs we have P1 equal to 4, okay, and P2 how much? P2 there is no higher pair here, so P2 equal to 0, okay, so P2 equal to 0, but we have got one redundant degree of freedom, that is in terms of this particular rod. Okay, the rod can slide without causing any movement to the rest of the mechanism. Okay, so Fr equal to 1. So now our effective degree of freedom will be how much? Just we are going to put those values in the equation, 3 whole into n minus 1 minus 2p1 minus p2 minus Fr. So this time we have got one Fr equal to 1. So it gives rise to degree of freedom equal to 0. Now what does it state? Okay, what does a degree of freedom equal to 0 whose value is 0? What does it say? So it states that basically the system is a lock system or it is a structure. Okay, or you can consider it's a lock system. Sometimes this might be a question. So the degree of freedom of a structure or lock system equal to how much? The degree of freedom of a structure or lock system is equal to 0. Okay. Next, if we get in the from the one of the previous question already we know. Okay, if the degree of freedom, effective degree of freedom is negative, then what is that? What does it indicate? Negative degree of freedom. Anyone? What does negative degree of freedom indicate? So that indicates superstructure. Okay, this is superstructure. Okay. Any confusion up to this much? You have understood how to find out the degree of freedom? If
Yes,
yes,
sir.
we'll move ahead to the next. Okay, thank you. So now we'll move ahead to this one. We'll try solving this here. And the last problem, okay, you just go through it. I have already shared in this Google Classroom. So this one is for you. Okay, it is. I have already solved. Okay, but just without looking at the how I have solved. Okay, just you just draw this particular figure without giving link number or whether binary joint, ternary joint, whatever. Okay, and try to solve by yourself. Okay, now we are going to look at this particular situation. Now here, once you get this particular whatever is the uh, diagram for this particular mechanism, okay, you just have to first draw the diagram, okay, and now after that you just have to keep on numbering the link, identify the links properly, and keep on numbering them sequentially. Okay, that is the n will require. After that, for finding out the P1, mostly our easy task, easy way is to just by finding out through the method of joint should solve. Okay, that means binary joint termination, what kind of joint it is for me, and that's how we're going to find. Okay, and find out if there is any higher pair. Okay, that means surface point or line contact. If that kind of situation is there, just like in the case of you can say cam case, or maybe in the case of gears, or maybe here also you'll see that means one portion is here where we'll be getting a higher pair. Okay, so those things are important, and if redundancy is there, that has to be eliminated. Okay, now let's try to solve this. So these are all like fixed point, okay, links. So we'll be numbering what? Okay, it should be same number. Okay, let's consider they are all link one. Now from any side you just go keep on numbering the links. So this is the link, okay, one link. We're giving link number two. This whole hat system, okay, has portion, okay. This is a single link. It's not two or three different links, but it's a single link. Okay, so we have to name it like, okay, number it with a single number. Okay, number three, link number three. Now this portion is another link. Okay, link four. We can consider this another link. Okay, link five. Once again, this is another link. Link six. Now this is another link. Link seven. And is this another link or is it the same fixed link?
Fixed link, sir.
Correct. So this is a fixed. So we'll be numbering it once again number one. Okay. So all the links are, I believe, numbered, or is there anything we have left? No. So total number of links n equal to how much? Seven. Okay. N equal to seven. That is done. Now we should be able to find out P1. Okay. For finding out P1, we'll go through. We'll check what kind of joints is there. Okay. Now, interestingly, okay, if whenever you have already drawn this, so you'll see that means here in this portion, okay, so it's basically giving rise to a kind of higher pair here. Okay, we have got one higher pair also. Okay, because here you can say point or line contact. So if you consider this situation is something like this. So this is kind of point contact it has got. Okay, so this is giving rise to a kind of higher pair. That means we have got P2. P2 is there. Okay, so we should be careful. So now we'll just see what kind of joints are there. So hinge joints, definitely these are hinge joints only. And binary joint, how many binary or ternary joints are there, we'll try to see. So here 1 and 2 it is joined here, so this is one binary joint. Next 1 and 3, 2 and 3 is joined here, so another binary joint, two links. Okay, similarly if you look at here at this joint, so again number link 1 and 4 are joined. Okay, third joint. And if you look at this particular, once again, two links are joined only, link 1 and link 5, so fourth binary join. Now this whole system was one link. Okay, this is a single link, link number 3, and link number 4, they are joined here. Okay, so this is once again binary hinge join, so the fifth number. Okay, similarly if you consider this link and this link, okay, they are joined here, so sixth binary hinge join. Okay, next once again this is this, and that is link number 6 and 7 are joined here. Okay, seventh binary hinge join, and once again 7 and 1 it is joined here. So all are binary joints, hinge joints. Okay, and how many we have? Eight numbers of hinge joints. So they will give rise to how many pairs? All are binary hinge joints. So P1 equal to how much? Is there any ternary or quaternary joint? No. Okay, so all are binary joints and eight numbers are there. So what will be the value of P1? So therefore the lower pair is P1 equal to, so from here it is going to give rise to 8 on. Okay, so P1 also equal to 8. Okay, had there been like any quaternary join, suppose let's consider the situation is something like 7 number of binary joint and one quaternary joint I have. Okay, in that particular system, 7 binary, one quaternary, then what will be the value of P1? Who can tell me? 7 binary joints I have plus one quaternary joint I have. How many pair it will constitute? Lower pairs. What's your guess?
4, sir.
4? 7 hinge joint I am talking about. 7 binary hinge joint and one quaternary hinge joint. How many pairs it is going to give you? That means after counting you have obtained 7 binary joints, okay, and one quaternary joints. So from after counting that, you are going to find out P1. Okay, what will be the value of P1 in that case? Rehan,
8, sir.
correct. So it will be 8. 7 binary joint will give rise to 7 link equivalent binary pair. Okay, and for one quaternary ternary is equivalent to one ternary is equivalent to two. Not sorry, you are saying 8, right? Rehan said 8.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so wrong. It is not 7%. Just for 7 binary, it is 7 number of pair. Plus for one quaternary, it is 1 is equivalent to 2 pair. Okay, one quaternary joint is equivalent to 2 pairs. So 7 plus 2, it would be 9 in that case. Okay, but right now we have got all 8 binary joints only. Okay, so it is directly 8 lower pairs. P1 equal to 8. Understood? Let me know. Now, if the situation is suppose after counting you have obtained 7 binary joints, okay, and one quaternary joint. 7 binary, one quaternary. So what will be the P1 value? In that case, 7 binary, one quaternary. Please guess.
So
For 7 binary, direct it is 7 pairs. Correct?
yes, sir.
Plus
Yes,
for one quaternary, it will be one quaternary joint is equivalent to how many pairs? How many pair it constitutes?
sir. Two, sir.
A quaternary. Quaternary means 4 links are joined here at this joint. 4 means 4 minus 1, it is equivalent to 4 minus 1. If 3 ternary joint means 3 links are joined here. This is ternary. Ternary means 3 links are joined here. So equivalent is 3 minus 1. We have said now if n is the number of like links that is joined at a particular joint, then n minus 1 it constitutes n minus 1 number of equivalent pair. That is the thing. If it is ternary, ternary means 3 minus 1, equivalent 3 minus 1. Quaternary means 4 links are joined, that means equivalent pair is 4 minus 1. If suppose the joint has got 5 links which are connected together, let's consider this is the case. So here how many in this particular joint, how many links are joined together? 1,
Three, sir.
2, 3, 5, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this diagram I am talking about. This diagram.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So at this location, at this connection, 5 links are joined. Okay. So 5 means this joint is going to give you how many equivalent pair, because we are interested in the number of pair. That is, we need n p1 and p2. That is in the equation it was there, na 3 whole into n minus 1 minus 2 p1 minus p2. We should be able to somehow find out n, that is the total number of links. We should be able to find out the p1 number of lower pair. We should be able to find out p2 number of higher pair. Understood? So now if this is the case, 5 links are joined here. How many equivalent pair it will constitute, Emil?
4, sir.
Okay, Rehan is correct. So it will be 5 minus 1, that is 4. Okay, similar is the case for any case. Okay, binary, but don't go for like it is a binary joint. I am giving like 2 minus 1 1 link. Okay, so for binary it is directly. Okay, because see, if it has to be a pair, minimum 2 links has to be there, na? Otherwise that itself is not a pair. Okay, so one binary joint gives rise to one pair. Understood? And we are
Yes, sir.
interested in this kind of how many pairs are there. Okay, so right now for this case, total number of links we have obtained n equal to 7. Okay, binary joints we have obtained 8. So from their lower pair will be automatically 8. So this situation I have already said, this position it has given rise to a higher pair, that is p2. Okay, so P2 equal to 1. Okay, so that is the same thing, it is written P2 equal to 1. Okay, and after that just we are ready with n, we are ready with P1 and P2, just put the value in the equation. Effective degree of freedom equal to 3 whole into n minus 1 minus 2P1 minus P2. N value is equal to 7, P1 we have obtained like 8, P2 we have obtained as 1. Okay, so after that the answer is 1. Okay, so that is the main case. So what you should be able to do, any kind of figure if it is given and if you have to find out degree of freedom, who can tell me the steps? First step, what to do?
Find fixed position.
First step, एकदम step wise जाओ, step wise बोलो. First, draw the configuration diagram. Yes or no? First, because in the equation it will be there. Okay, in the question it will be there, so you have to draw it. If you draw it, then only you will be able to show right. Next, what?
To find the fixed position, sir.
Yes, that is actually it will come under the identify and number the links. Yes, fixed and others. Yes, all the fixed link has to be numbered with the same number. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So fixed and others. Others means like it may be uh note. I'll give like a kind of note. Okay. All fixed link with same number. Correct. All fixed link with same number, and be careful while numbering the, you can say, ternary or quaternary links might be there, so you should be properly number them. Okay, if it is ternary link, only one number you should give. Yes, correct. So suppose n is done. Okay, suppose n is obtained, so after that we have to find what we are interested in, P1, right? Lower pairs. Correct. For that, what we will do? Okay, for finding on the lower pair, find the type and numbers of what joins. Correct. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after that, what?
So,
Find what? Now after that, we have to find out P2. P2 means higher
Higher
pair.
pair.
Okay, higher pair means what? What kind of contact? Line or point contact. Okay, can you give me some example? Can you give me any example of higher pair? Who can give me some examples of higher pair? Cam and follower, generally they constitute what kind of pair? Higher pair or lower pair, based on the type of contact. Gear mechanism, what kind of pair they constitute based on the type of contact? These are basic questions. These kind of questions are asked in the interview also. Gear mechanism. What about gear mechanism? Lower pair or higher pair? No one? Just try it. So they constitute higher pairs. Okay. So now you're dealing with like n is done. Okay. So you're identifying a number of things that is done. N is okay. P1 you have obtained. P2 you have obtained. And also you have to check for any redundancy. Okay. Now you're dealing ready with that. Okay. Now uh, using Grabler's equation to find the degree of freedom. Correct? Understood? So these are the basic steps. Any confusion, anyone? So this kind of question will you'll get in your exams. Okay, finding out degree of freedom for any kind of mechanism. Figure will be given. You should be able to. You should first draw it, draw the configuration diagram properly, whatever figure given. So after that, on the figure that you have drawn, identify and number the links properly. Then find out P1, P2, etc. And using Grabler's equation, find out the degree of freedom. Okay. Any confusion? Any question that you want to ask? So these are higher pairs. Yes, yes, these are having what? Point contact, okay, or line contact. So higher kinetic pairs. These are kind of surface contact we have, okay. So they give rise to what? Lower pair. You can see here in this figure, okay. Point contact or line contact, similar is the case of here, okay. So these are kind of higher pair. So if there is no further question, okay, then we'll stop here for today. So if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll stop here for today. And you try some other unsolved problems. Okay. Similarly, these solved problems, one or two that we have not discussed, those things also you just try to solve by yourself and check whether you get the things done or not. Okay. So with this, we'll stop here for today. So thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Okay.